Talking with the experts.
In episode 363, Jenna Zeng discusses how she bootstrapped her business and how she's been able to grow from that.
Is that we've built this little community that I never thought that I would ever really have online. I never thought I'd be in tech either. But basically we send out these email marketing emails every week. And I saw one that I received into my inbox from somebody who I subscribed to, a little button saying, click here if you have a question about X, right? And so I thought that was really interesting because they're kind of throwing you a line of communication that, you know, you can talk with me. Maybe I'd be talking with somebody on their team because they were pretty big. But for us, I'm still doing the email marketing. So I thought, how can I directly connect with my customers, but people who just subscribe to our website? Because another way that we built up our platform and our know, like, trust, our brand recognition was through our blogs and SEO. So we have email subscribers that aren't necessarily clients yet. So we're still communicating with them. So, okay, I'm going to put this button here.
Welcome to Talking with the Experts. This is where we discuss great ideas to take your business to the next level. How do we know these ideas work? Well, it's because we're talking with business owners who are using these ideas. Business owners who have years of experience and expertise. All things business by business owners for business owners. And now, here is your host, Rose Davidson.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. Now, tell me, have you ever bootstrapped a startup and you've been able to grow from that? My next guest, Jenna Zeng, has done just that, and she is a serial entrepreneur. She's a total idea junkie. She's a marketing nerd and a small business owner with huge dreams. And aren't we all? We all have these big dreams that we want to fulfill. She's obsessed with helping others in her entrepreneurial community and has found her way to do the things that's led her into the tech world. She's a co-founder of a back-end optimization workflow tool for small to medium businesses, just like herself, just like me, probably just like you, called StaffNet. This software and app helps business owners take the tedious tasks off their to-do lists and automate the day-to-day running of their business to allow for more time to do things that they want to do to grow their business, their own teams, without having to sacrifice time and more money. Welcome, Jenna. Thank you so much for joining me at this stupid hour of the morning for you.
Thank you for having me. Great way to start my morning.
Yeah, I'm glad. Now tell me, how did you get into establishing StaffNet and what is it exactly?
Yeah, so StaffNet was a happy accident for sure. We already owned a small business, a cleaning business, which we still do to this day, and it's doing its thing, it's thriving. And we remain small because we enjoy just the ability to reach our clients without having to lose that connection, right? So we've had a small business for several years now. I think we're going on 4, and we had an issue with our back end tasks. We just found that, well, I in particular found that I was spending my evenings and weekends just working on my small business in addition to my full-time job. Whereas when we went into owning a business, this bright and shiny idea of entrepreneurship was, oh, I'm going to have some freedom, some flexibility. And, you know I have to work for a little bit now, but eventually it'll pay off. It went by for a year and things weren't getting better. And so in terms of what wasn't getting better was, we had timesheets from our staff that were disorganized. Our staff didn't know where they were supposed to show up, and there was just a gap in communication. Everything that we needed to run our business was all over the place. We were managing it on several different platforms. So then we sought out to find something on the internet. We thought, okay, there must be a solution out there for everything that we need in terms of like our perfect app or feature software. And there was nothing that kind of really fit us. And we tried different subscriptions, trials, and all that, and we never really stuck to one. So from there, we basically had an issue and wanted to solve the solution. And we put together a wireframe with some friends, but it really started out as a joke. Me and my co-founder, Dwayne, we own both businesses together. We were just kind of joking that we could do it better, that we should start a new business. And, at this point, we were already working evenings and weekends. We both had two small infants under 2, and then we're working full-time jobs. And then we're talking about starting this whole new business. And we're just like, yeah, ha, 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 right? So one of his friends was a developer. Dwayne talked to him and basically said, humor me, put together a wireframe, and I'll put together a quote for you. And it just kind of snowballed from there really, really quickly. And all of a sudden, we're signing this agreement with them to basically start building StaffNet. But at this point, StaffNet was essentially for our business to run the back end procedures. So this would be employee timesheets, like I mentioned, inventory, CRM, task management, everything that you need on a daily basis. But what I wanted to do was automate it. I wanted things to run in the background while I was sleeping, while I was taking care of my son, because now all of a sudden I didn't have evenings and weekends to spend on the business. I needed something to be working for me. So that's basically how we started StaffNet. And then I don't know where the aha moment was, but somewhere along the line in the building process, I realized that other businesses are probably struggling as well too. Out of 7 billion people, there's another small business that can't find their right solution out there. I knew the market was fairly saturated because we definitely did not reinvent the wheel whatsoever, but it was our unique selling point is we're the first flat rate scheduling app. So normally you pay for the platform fee and then you pay per user. And that was a huge pain point for me too, running a small business. I don't have a huge budget to spend, and there's such an influx of employees all the time. I never knew what I would be spending. So our unique selling point was that we're the first flat rate scheduling app, and we went into that for our beta. We found beta users within the service industry. So this would be somebody working as a plumber, maybe as a cleaning company like us, moving, because that's kind of what it was geared towards. We had a few restaurants that hopped on board, and then a few offices as well. And at that point, that's where we got the green light that there was space for us in the market, and that if we did launch this, there was a chance of being successful if we really did this right. And so that's pretty much how it came to be the conception of StaffNet.
Well, that's really exciting. Congratulations. What a fabulous app. It's an all-in-one. Is it available overseas or just in the North America?
Yeah, we're international. Yeah.
Well done. Good. I'll have to go and have to do a bit of research. I might have to share it out there amongst, because I know there's a lot of people here that could do something that's an all-in-one app, and they sick and tired of having to pay for 3 or 4 different sort of bits of software or whatever, when one would be most helpful.
Yeah, exactly.
So how did you go from like being a bootstrap startup, and explain what bootstrap means, because some of the people might not know what that is.
Yeah, so we're self-funded. Dwayne and I basically took money from our previous business. We were fortunate enough to be able to do that. And we didn't really want any investors in the picture to dictate how we were going to do things, because we had this vision of where we wanted to take it. And like I said, initially, the idea was not to market it. So this was really just something for us. So bootstrap just means we're self-funded, that we are on the ground doing the work ourselves, Dwayne and I, and we've slowly built a small team.
Stuff you'll be millionaires before you know it.
Maybe that's not the intent, but if that happens along the way, amazing, cool. But for us, I think another unique selling point is that we come from a place of service. Like, we never created StaffNet to make money, to become rich. We've already have our lives and our full-time jobs. And I've actually had to leave my full-time job now to do this, but that was never the plan, right? It just kind of, again, happy accident where life kind of takes you. But for us, I think what's helped us grow and evolve so quickly, especially from being a startup and bootstrap, is that we come from a place of service, and it's not just oh, we just want to make a lot of money, which is the worst reason to go into business.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and if you come from a place of service, people know that they can feel it and they recognise it, so that they're probably more likely to buy from you because they can feel the warmth and the loveliness that comes from the sales or marketing end of it. So yeah, well done, congratulations. Where to from here after StaffNet's been launched and it's on its way?
Um, Evolving. Yeah, basically, how are we gonna make features better? Are we gonna add some features on? Because since we've had so much feedback from our beta users, which without them we would have never been able to launch effectively, right? Because they tested it, they tried to break it, they fixed many bugs along the way in terms of telling us where they are. So yeah, for us, I think it's evolving our features to be able to include payroll. That was one big thing that we don't offer because that is a huge software to build, right? You're thinking about QuickBooks. That's just one that comes off the top of my head. And we basically came together and said, okay, well, how can we integrate that? So we're going to do a plugin for QuickBooks. So just small little things like that where we can just make us more efficient and more effective. And then another happy accident is that we started this consulting on the side. We don't charge anything for it, but where it's kind of evolving and taking us is that we've built this little community that I never thought that I would ever really have online. I never thought I'd be in tech either. But yeah, basically we send out these email marketing emails every week. And I saw one that I received into my inbox from somebody who I subscribed to, a little button saying, click here if you have a question about X, right? And so I thought that was really interesting because they're kind of throwing you a line of communication that, you can talk with me. Maybe I'd be talking with somebody on their team because they're pretty big. But for us, I'm still doing the email marketing. So I thought, how can I directly connect with my customers, but people who just subscribe to our website? Because another way that we built up our platform and our know, like, trust, our brand recognition was through our blogs and SEO. So we have email subscribers that aren't necessarily clients yet. So we're still communicating with them. So, okay, I'm going to put this button here. I put the button there, and then I didn't really do a very strong call to action initially. And so I kind of revamped it a little bit. And as soon as I revamped it, I said chat now or something like that. And it's evolved a little bit since, but people started emailing me back. And I was really surprised to see it. I thought, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, people are just emailing me suggestions or telling me about their struggles. And it's really cool to connect, to let them know that they're not alone, but it also makes me know that I was never alone in this process either. So through that, we've done, like I say, coffee dates. So they're 15-minute little coffee dates where we can have a virtual coffee, chat about what's going on. If I have suggestions and you're asking for help, I'm willing to give you my knowledge. There's areas where, like, we've worked and where we can definitely help out, but also just chatting with a colleague in the industry has been really, really helpful. So it's kind of evolved with this community growing. So I don't know where that'll take us. I don't want to ever really charge for these consulting sessions, if you will, because it's more just being able to connect with our fan base or our audience.
Yeah, again, that comes from a place of service, and you're offering something for free so that people can, know that they're not alone in their challenges with starting a business or whatever. So no, well done. I think that's a great idea, and it's
Thank you.
innovative, isn't it? Where you've click here, have a chat. Yeah, good stuff. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
what
And I
other
think sometimes,
tools? Sorry, go on.
sorry, go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, I think sometimes the nice aspect of that is that we can feel so disconnected when we're creating a business that our family and friends might not ask about it, but you have this whole, like, online. I don't know if you've ever felt this with, like, LinkedIn or any of the social platforms where you kind of congregate to your people, which is really, really nice.
Yes, yeah, you do. As a startup, it can be quite lonely, and especially if your friends and family don't really understand what it is that you're doing, or why
Yeah,
you're even doing it, why you're going to leave a corporate job to start your own business. They think you're mad. But yeah, so it's
absolutely.
nice. Yeah, it's nice to be able to talk to other like-minded individuals that get the reasons why you've done what you've done, and understand your challenges that you're having. So it's good. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
idea. So I guess trusting the voice that's within is can be a good thing most of the time, but it can tend to lead you astray on others. So what would be your advice in trusting that gut feeling that you've got?
I think we need to learn how to listen to our gut a lot better over the years through whatever we've been through. I think, just societal pressures, family pressures, all that kind of stuff. We're kind of taught to silence the voice that like, no, we're going to do this because this is the thing. This is what social media is telling me to do, or the market's telling me to do with my business. I'm supposed to go through this. I'm supposed to do this. So I think we need to really work hard to kind of silence the noise and learn how to trust that inner gut. Your gut will never steer you wrong, but your emotions will. And so I kind of urge you to learn how to differentiate the two, because in business, especially, it's a roller coaster. You'll have the highest of highs, and then you're going to feel the lowest of lows, maybe the moment after, right? You get hit with some bad news. For us, I one time almost broke the system because I put a code somewhere. So like just little things like that where like you can react on emotion. And so, differentiating how your emotions make you make decisions versus your gut making decisions, right? So if you learn to kind of really tune into that little voice, be silent with yourself, kind of declutter your mind of what everybody else is doing, because I think it's the big shiny object. Rose is really good at this. But Rose is her own person, so she's going to be awesome at that, but I'm going to be awesome at this if my gut is saying so, right? So I think we kind of need to just honor that a little bit more and go in that direction. But it's not easy. It's really, really hard. Like
It
all the time.
is.
I always catch myself like, oh, this person is doing this like for online marketing. I should do that too. Reel it in. Like, no, this is what we're doing, Jenna.
I'm very well known for making snap decisions and not letting my head rule my heart. If it feels good in the heart, then I know that it's right for me to do at that any particular
Yeah.
moment. And you can always change your mind. You don't have to stay with what you're doing forever and ever if it no longer aligns with how you feel. So, and people
Yeah.
think no, they've got to stay at it because that's what they started. But geez, I started out my business as doing virtual assistants and admin tasks for female
Mm.
entrepreneurs, and now look what I'm doing. I run a successful podcast and produce that. How different is that from 6 years ago? It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like the gut and heart is so aligned. So I think the way you put it was very perfect.
Oh, thanks. Where can people find you if they want to know more about StaffNet and what it can do for their business?
Yeah, so we're staffnet.ca. We're Canadian, so that's why it's .ca. And we are at StaffNet Scheduling on LinkedIn, which is usually where we hang out. But you can also catch our blog on LinkedIn and our website, so we can subscribe there.
Good, eh? And
Mhm.
what sort of tidbit or words of wisdom or something or quote perhaps that you'd like to share?
Yeah, a good quote. I love one from Michael Jordan. I don't want to butcher this. So I've failed over and over again, and this is why I'm successful. I think that's what it is. So for me, I love sports. I'm a huge basketball fan. But in general, I think we so often are afraid to try the thing because of failure, because of what other people will think. And then we move through our lives that way, which is just such a great disservice. And so I think if we lived with a little bit less fear in knowing that the sun will come up tomorrow, even if you fail today, it's totally fine. But if you fail forward, continue to fail, you will get to success inevitably, right? It's just a matter of like actually trying. And it would be such a shame to never try. So
Oh,
for me, that quote really resonates,
yeah, if you don't try, you'll never know, will you? That's what I keep.
right?
That's why I should tell my kids, if you don't try riding that bike, you're never going to know what it feels like to have freedom.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. I said that to my husband one day. I'm like, well, if we don't try and win the lottery by buying a lottery ticket, we'll never win. He's like, you're
You
not
got to be in
wrong.
it to win it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
getting a bit sidetracked. We saw some fellow had won like the most expensive, or not most expensive, but the most amount of money ever in a lottery in North America. I go, what would you do with all of that money? It's like an obscene amount.
Yeah. 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 Do you guys not have the same amount?
No, we get up to like $80 million. That's about, but that's when it's jackpotted. So
Oh.
no, we're not into
But
the
you guys are in
billions.
pounds. Yeah. I
No,
don't
no,
think
we're
ours
in
are in
dollars.
billions.
We're in dollars.
Oh, in
We
dollars too?
in
Oh,
dollars, yeah.
okay. 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 I was doing like some conversion in my head there. Yeah, it's like I think there was 150 million at one point. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
obscene, isn't it? It really is.
It's just wild. There's this TV show on one of those home channels or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're talking about people who won the lottery, and so they have these extravagant houses and all of these luxury items, but they lose them just as quick because they don't have the proper spending habits. And it's just like it's so heart-wrenching because you're just thinking like the things you could have done with that money and you just
Blew it
threw it
and
all
wasted it
away.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, tangent.
So, yeah, tangent. No, but it was interesting that, we were talking about what you could do, and lottery came up. So why not talk about it?
Yeah, yeah,
Jenna,
exactly,
it's been a
exactly.
pleasure. Thank you so much for being my guest today and sharing with us about StaffNet. I'm sure that people will be flocking to your door soon, and
Thank you.
it'll make you the entrepreneur of the year.
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so.
Enjoy your day, Jenna. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rose. Take care.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.